We finna see why this man joined the Hoovers just to kill the Hoovers. Like he could have did this from outside the team or something. I don't know why he joined the team to do this. He specialized in backdoor tactics. He's a general in this. But look, let's get straight to it and see what happened in this educational. You feel me? Let's get straight to it though.
Michael Dwayne Smith was known in Oklahoma City as the Hoover Killer for allegedly targeting members of the Hoover Crips, but the truth is that Big Lucky 7 was the true Hoover Killer, with rumors suggesting he had more alleged Hoover bodies on him than even his rivals.
A person stabbed in northwest Oklahoma City. This happened just around.
Welcome back to another episode of Hood 187. In today's video, we'll be going over a legendary Hoover from Pitts Park. Walter James Landon, known on the streets as Big Lucky 7, got his name from his ties to the 107 Hoovers, the gang that took over the Pitts Park area. The 107th Hoovers, or 107 Hoovers, in Oklahoma City operate under the Crip umbrella, which differs from their counterparts in Los Angeles. When the Hoovers first established themselves in Oklahoma City, they were aligned with the Crip identity from the start.
So look, so they just asked my first question, folks. The Hoovers, the Crips, bro, because look, it ain't no Crips where I'm from, bro. It ain't no Bloods, no Crips, none of that shit. So I don't know what they was talking about when they was saying Hoovers, bro. I didn't know what they meant, bro. But okay, the Hoovers are the Crips. Y'all probably like, duh, Otto. Shut the fuck up. Look, let's get straight back to this.
As a result, the internal conflicts and politics seen in Los Angeles didn't carry over in the same way. In OKC, the Hoovers had no issue with representing the killer while still claiming Crip, so there was never a strong push to switch over to identifying as criminal. However, in recent years, some of the newer generation in Oklahoma City have started repping criminal instead of Crip, though the reason behind this shift remains unclear. Big Lucky 7's childhood wasn't much different from many others who grew up in the city. Surrounded by violence and drugs, his early years shaped him into just another recruit for the gangs that controlled his neighborhood. Big Lucky 7.
That's crazy. He wasn't nothing outside of just another recruit, bro. Shit crazy. They don't look at you as special or nothing. That's how it be though. They just be wanting money too, shit. They look at themselves as just another one, shit.
Grew a reputation as the most feared name on Oklahoma City's east side, largely due to his notorious history of friendly fire. By the time Big Lucky 7 was 17, he was already allegedly connected to multiple shootings on the neighborhood Rolling 90 Crips. The 90 Crips territory borders that of the Hoovers, with the two neighborhoods directly across from each other, a setup that frequently led to clashes and violent conflict between the gangs. But people started to fear Big Lucky 7 after he shot one of his own, a well-known member from the Pitts Park Hoovers, someone who would be considered an OG today and part of the reason behind the Homie Gang. Hakeem Kareem Alfred Long was allegedly known for being a reputable member of the Pitts Park Hoovers. Some believe H-Hop was initially a member of the 92 Hoovers in Pitts Park, but it later came out that he was actually affiliated with the 107 Hoovers. Stories about H-Hop would paint him as someone who was deeply committed to putting in work against his rivals, but despite the war between the two sides, his dedication to Oklahoma banging earned him respect from even those who were on the other side. According to reports, Big Lucky...
So he was just a gangster. That's what I'm hearing, bro. His ass had respect both sides. Like, whether you were op or not. You feel me? Whether you were op or not. My fault, y'all. I tweak. I'm a dumbass, as y'all can see. But look. Shit, his ass was a gangster, boy. They couldn't do nothing but respect folks. You feel me? He kept it P. He kept it gangster. Shit. That's all motherfuckers be wanting. They want to keep this shit gangster, but this shit like a game of chess to their ass, boy. They ass don't care, boy. Folks. You play by the rules and your ass, what? Shit, some people gonna respect that shit, you know. Some people ain't fucking with that shit. But it is how it is, bro. What do y'all think about this, though? All right, well, I thought I was saying it.
7 and H-Hop were allegedly planning to target a rival gang member. Police claimed that Big Lucky 7 had a 9mm semi-automatic Uzi and accidentally fired it, striking and killing H-Hop, who was just 17 years old. Big Lucky 7 was taken into custody for questioning regarding H-Hop's murder. During the investigation, authorities suggested that the shooting might not have been intentional, with some believing the two were merely playing with the gun, but the exact circumstances remain unclear. Eventually, Big Lucky 7 was released and charged with manslaughter rather than first-degree murder. Over 200 people gathered at H-Hop's funeral to pay their respects, but that Tuesday night, tensions would escalate. While friends and family stood outside the Temple & Sons funeral home on North Kelly Avenue, rival gangs threatened H-Hop's father, warning him they would shoot up the funeral home and drill his family. This just put H-Hop's father on edge. Not only was he grieving the loss of his son, but now he had the added pressure of protecting 200 of his closest friends and family. Feeling the weight of the situation, he decided the best thing was to contact the Oklahoma Police Department, requesting their help to keep watch over the service. But even with the help, things still got out of control. A member of the Pitts Park Hoovers came to show respect. People said the team wore clothes with gang signs, like the Houston Astros logo, and other gang names crossed out. Some people at the funeral said the teen wasn't bothering anyone, but another gang showed up and started a fight with the Pitts Park Hoovers. People even recall rocks being thrown, hitting H-Hop's family, along with broken glass bottles. And allegedly, a young boy, about 14 years old, fired 2 gunshots near police officers and news reporters before running into a nearby apartment.
Okay, alright, cool. Don't matter what age. Boom. Thought this shit was sweet. Boom. That's all I'm hearing, bro. And look, we don't say nothing about his age on this motherfucker. Phone him taught me that. You know.
Apartment building, but nobody said if he was with or against the Hoovers. Police helicopters and backup officers were called in. Kelly Avenue was shut down between Northeast 23rd and Northeast 36th for about 30 minutes until the scene was under control. One person was arrested for carrying a gun, but no serious injuries were reported. The death of H-Hop really shook his family and the Pitts Park Hoovers, causing a lot of tension. In the aftermath, a possible Hoover member was confronted by a rival gang member, held at gunpoint, and questioned about his association with H-Hop. H-Hop's legacy lived on through the Hoovers and Oklahoma's evolving gang culture. His influence was honored by Homicide from the Nutty Block Compton Crips, who launched a documentary series that took viewers deep into the heart of OKC's gangland. The series traveled hood to hood, featuring voices and stories from members of various sets, offering an inside look at life on the streets. Despite long-standing rivalries, the Hoovers, the Brims, and others were all included. At the beginning of the series, a tribute was paid to H-Hop, showing respect not only from the Hoovers, but also from the Nutty Block Compton Crips, a powerful gesture given their status as enemies. And years later, Big Lucky 7 got out of jail for what happened to H-Hop. When he was 25, the police picked him up again for a drive-by shooting and weirdo charges. A year later, it would be reported that he caught a first-degree charge. These allegations only added fuel to his reputation because those who wanted to speak up were too afraid, and rumors spread across the city that while he was locked up, he was beating down anyone who dared to go against him. 4 years later, Big Lucky 7 was charged with assault with a deadly weapon following a dispute with an alleged female partner. The incident escalated to a domestic.
Damn, what he doing to that lady with that weapon? Calm down. Boy, his ass is just a prison advocate at this point, boy. Send his ass to Iran. Wanna beat bitches? Beat females, beat ladies and shit. We don't curse on him. We don't condone any of this violence or anything that he's doing. We don't condone it at all.
Violence case, which reportedly occurred in the presence of a child. Big Lucky 7 was known as pure evil, someone who showed no remorse for the people he hurt or the lives he put in danger. In 2015, Big Lucky 7 and another member of the Hoover gang were reportedly involved in a series of armed robberies around Oklahoma City. The pair would allegedly target victims, robbing them at gunpoint and likely pistol whipping them during the assaults. It's clear that Big Lucky 7 became well known for all the wrong reasons. By 2019, the reality of spending his life in prison seemed to have fully settled in for him. There were even rumors that he had taken control of the Homie gang within Oklahoma's prison system. Big Lucky 7 was released again, but he always seemed to find his way back into trouble, and in 2021, it finally caught up to him. Historically, the Hillside Hoovers and Pitts Park Hoovers have been viewed as essentially one and the same, with both falling under the larger Hoover banner and sharing common rivals. Johnny Garrison was said to be a member of the Hillside Hoovers and was briefly taken into custody on charges of first-degree burglary and strangulation back in May of 2021. After his release, rumors began to circulate that he may have rubbed certain members the wrong way, possibly due to allegations of snitching, though that remains hearsay. But whatever the reason was, it really set Big Lucky 7 off. Big Lucky 7 had bumped into Johnny around Northwest 20th Street later that day, and words were exchanged between the two, and before anyone knew it, things went left. Big Lucky 7 then pulled out a knife and stabbed Johnny multiple times. Johnny managed to retreat to a nearby vehicle, where bystanders quickly rushed him to the hospital. He was dropped off in the hospital's emergency room lobby, but while awaiting surgery, he succumbed to his injuries. Big Lucky 7 was taken into custody around 6 p.m. and booked into the Oklahoma County Detention Center on a complaint of first-degree murder. Although his official sentence has already been determined, it's expected to be life without the possibility of parole, considering his violent history and long-standing reputation as a menace to the state of Oklahoma. There is no publicly available information confirming whether Big Lucky
I ain't gonna count, bro. How they describing him, bro. Somebody need to shank his ass, bro. I'm not even gonna count to you, but his ass too. He a danger to everything. His people probably don't play about him, but man, boy, he's a lost cause. He's a tweaker, for real, for real. He don't want no freedom, no none, no butt, no nothing. Want violence in jail and instant noodles. This is crazy.
7 has entered a plea in connection with the 2021 homicide of 20-year-old Johnny Garrison. However, it's likely that he has, given Oklahoma's tough stance on violent offenders, especially in gang-related cases where many end up facing the death penalty and ultimately lethal injection, bringing their reign of terror to an end. Johnny marked the 83rd homicide in Oklahoma.
So they say no shank, straight needle, bro. Like he a fiend, boy. They finna inject his 350 grams of fentanyl right to the brain. He's up out of here, bro. Johnny or whoever your name is, they finna avenge you, boy. They finna stab him right with a fentanyl needle, opioid. He's cooked. Over with, bro. Like, yeah, this is Johnny right here too.
The city, and the second confirmed Hoover under Big Lucky 7's belt, though the streets claim that Big Lucky 7 have many more. Thanks for watching another episode of Hood 187. If you enjoyed,
so I guess as y'all can see, Big Lucky 7, he'll get on that with anybody. He don't give a fuck what you is. None. He just own that, bro. But look, man. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this video. Did y'all mess with it? Is y'all Hoovers? Do y'all fuck with the Hoovers? What it is? Let me know something. Because I really ain't got no clue. I told y'all. I ain't even knew what the Hoovers was before they confirmed it at the start of this video. So we gonna leave it at that. So yeah. Let me know what y'all think. Peace. I'm out.